I used to be telling him, like, I really wanted to drag her today. God is working on me. I'm about to drag her about the church. If she touch you again, I'm a killer. I'm a killer.
Unfiltered.
Gather, my people, gather. Put your ear. We have a meeting. Now, guys, listen, as I promised y'all in my last video, we are going to watch quite an interesting story today. We are. I promise you this, and I promise you I was coming back quickly, and I am. But before we move on, I want to say something to some of you peeps. Now, I never have this. I don't know what it is, but today, something just touched my spirit and told me, listen, you got to say this for the people that are easily triggered. Because I'm going to talk to my people that are battling depression right now. So if you are triggered by this, come back in 45 seconds. Yes? Log off. All right. Now, people, listen, we have a lot of new family members on here. The Unfiltered fam is growing. And some people, they just don't be like cutting up, kicking it, having fun. And, that's what I like to do. But some of you, some of the day ones, know there's a whole nother side to me. And today I got it on my heart to just say something to the people that are currently going through depression. Now, guys, I know it is easy for me to say, listen, pray to God, and then, he will pull you through, because that is what he did for me. And it's still doing for me to this day. But that's what I believe in. Now, you could very well believe in something else. Could be. A lot of you don't know that I have been, battling with severe depression. And when I say severe, guys, like severe, as of I don't want to be here. Now, I've been through a lot in life. My brother as well. A lot of you know my brother unalived himself. So there has been a lot going on in life. And I know that it is very hard for people, especially people that are close to you, to understand what is going on with someone that is battling depression. You could be at a big, big party, and you sit there and you just feel, you feel so out of place. You feel so out of touch with everything. Now, I want to talk to those specific people that are battling through depression, because let me tell you, sometimes it still hits me. Lately, I'm doing very good, I have to say, but I want to talk to you guys and say, listen, keep going. If you believe in God, keep praying. Seek help if you need to. And don't let anybody brush over it. People have, with the best of intentions, so much advice. Take a walk. Go do this. Go book a vacation. But they don't understand. You could go on 600 vacations. You can go on 600 walks in the park. You can sit with, 600 family members loving on you. It still don't matter. Now, I know a lot of people don't believe in it. They believe you could talk yourself out of it. But I've seen a whole different side of depression. I know there's layers to layers to layers, but I just have it on my heart to tell you guys, keep pushing, keep moving on. And we got you. We got each other. Y'all got me. Because you see, the way I have to show up for you guys all the time, I love it. I found my passion, so that might help too. But keep going, guys. I don't know why I had to say it, but I had to do it. We'll get into all of this, on a members video. So today, guys, we are talking about Pastor Curtis Nugin and his wife, the First Lady, Chatrivia Nugin. Now, I saw this couple. It caught my eye, and I was like, listen, I really need to talk about it. This interview was hosted by Dana Hunter. Now, she has a podcast called Love, Lust, and Lies. Now, I really want you to go check her podcast out. Shout her out, because I hope she doesn't flag my video. Sister, please don't flag this video, please. Because we're having a conversation today. Please, if you like her channel, go follow her channel, guys, and see what she's about. Now, Dana tackles a lot of controversial topics on her podcast. So that is what makes it really interesting. And then she gives her commentary, but she gives her commentary from a Christian perspective. And she helps her guests navigate through a difficult conversation. And I absolutely respect the conversations that she is willing to have on her platform. Because I already told you, this pastor lost his wife and then later remarried his late wife's best friend that has HIV. Now, for some of you, that probably raises a lot of questions. Nobody chooses HIV. This is definitely not her fault. So we're not talking about that, because I feel like nobody should be stigmatized just because of their diagnosis. Now, Chatrivia, that is now a First Lady, she had a lot of toxic relationship. And after years of living in an unhealthy environment, after years of toxicity, she thought she found the man of her dreams to spend the rest of her life with. She then became pregnant, and then while she was 8 months pregnant, she found out he had full-blown AIDS. Shortly thereafter, she got tested, of course, and then found out she had HIV as well. As you can imagine, she felt scared. She felt alone. She felt that her whole life just overnight changed. Her whole future, the vision she had for herself changed. She didn't value herself anymore until she met Pastor Curtis. And that is where we start the story. We are going to head right into the conversation. And guys, listen to me, my unfiltered. I want to know what you think. Now, for the new people, that love them some Debs. When we react to a video, I need to talk through the video. Now, I know some people are like, oh God, I like it when they just sit and don't stop the video and listen. I can't do that. Now, first of all, for fair use, I need to talk through it. Educational purposes, I need to do this. So it's a reaction video. If you don't like that, don't watch this one. But I'd rather you stick around. Now remember, guys, we are going to listen and we do not judge. You already know what to do. Get comfortable, guys. Grab a blanket, grab a snack, grab a drink. Put your earphones in, depending on where you're at, of course. And let's watch some discombobulation, sort of. Y'all ready? Let's get into it.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. Usually I don't do this often.
And I'm just going to let them introduce themselves, and we are going to jump right in. Mr. and Mrs. Nugin, thank y'all so much for being here with us today on Love, Lust, or Lies. How are you doing today?
Oh, great. Another day, another opportunity. Thank you very much for having us.
Yes, and
I'm
would you
doing
like for me to
all
say
right.
Pastor Nugin?
Yes, ma'am. Pastor, Love You for Life Ministries. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Pastor. I might even say Bishop. All right. All right.
Oh, God.
Miss Nugent, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging.
Wonderful, wonderful. And God bless you, First Lady. Miss
Thank you.
Nugent, Miss Nugent, Miss First Lady, we gonna get into it. We have a lot to unpack.
Yes,
A
yes.
lot to unpack.
Yes.
And here on Love, Lust, and Lies, we try not to leave one stone unturned. We get into it.
Yes,
If it's
sister.
something I touch on, you don't want to talk about it, y'all just act like you didn't hear me, because I'm gonna ask the hard questions, okay?
Okay.
Miss Nugent, I want you to get into it. At a young age, you found yourself in a vulnerable, compromised situation to no fault of your own, just like everybody else, looking for love. Talk to us about this predator that you met and what happened to you at a young age.
Hmm. So I think I was 23, if I'm not mistaken. 20, 21, 23. Sometimes I be forgetting the years and the dates. As I continue to heal, I learn more about it. But I know I was in my early 20s. I met a guy. He was absolutely amazing. He was nothing like what I had experienced before then. He went to church. He wanted a future. He wanted to be a plumber. Loved my son. I had a son. He loved my son. Everything was going good. I think we was together maybe about a year and a half. I got pregnant. I was 8.5 months pregnant. He started getting sick. So he went to the doctor and they said that he just had a cold. He had asthma. And he kept going back to the doctor, kept going back to the doctor. And the last time he went, they tested him for HIV. He told me he was gonna take the test for HIV. Maybe a few days later, we was sitting in the room in the hospital. He was in the hospital. I was sitting on the side of the bed, and the doctor came in, and she was like, "Well, your results came back. Could you leave the room?" And he was like, "No, she don't have to leave the room. She the mother of my child." So she was like,
Ooh.
"Test results came back, and you have AIDS." So it was like, oh, AIDS. It wasn't even an HIV word. It was the AIDS word. So it's kind of confusing it a little bit, but AIDS and HIV got something to do with each other. So like, okay. So then she was like, it's important for you to go and get tested because you're 8.5 months pregnant. So I didn't say nothing. And he looked at me, I looked at him, and he was like, don't leave me. It's gonna be me and you against the world. And I was like, okay.
Hold
Hold on, sister. Now I am glad that this doctor, this might sound very effed up, but the doctor came back and said it was AIDS. Now I am glad that it was AIDS, and I'm going to tell you why. Because sometimes you hear people flip it, and just quickly say, listen, I got it from you. And this is something he very well could have did and say, listen, I didn't have none of this. Since I am with you, I have this. You know, they were young. But since it's AIDS, that means, and correct me if I'm wrong for all my nurses, doctors in the comments, when somebody has full-blown AIDS, that means it has progressed for years, maybe 5+ years. Has to be. Please put it in the comments if that's not true, but that's, what I think I know of this.
Woo! I had to let that out.
Sister.
You saying this guy was Mr. Perfect. You about 20, 22, 23 years old. You met this guy. Everything was right. Because we kind of talked in the pre-interview. You had some prior failed relationships before. And so this time, you took your time. You met this guy. He approached you. He was saying all the right things. He was working at the time.
Yep.
Working at the time. Probably, I'm sure there was some physical attraction.
Now, First Lady, I really I need you to use full words. Yup. And that I don't. First Lady, come now.
Time did he allude to anything being wrong, or could you tell that anything was being wrong? Anything was wrong with him?
Oh.
And you said y'all dated for 1.5 years. You had one son for him?
I had already had a son when I met him.
You had a son prior to the relationship. Mm-hmm. But now you found yourself pregnant for him.
Yes.
And take us to that moment again. So he started to feel sick. You were 8 months pregnant for him. You found out not he has the flu or a sickness. You said they told him with you in the room that he has full-blown AIDS. What was your reaction?
I didn't have one. It was like, so at that time in my life, I heard about what HIV was. I heard about what AIDS was, but that was it. I never thought that, I just never thought it for my life. So when they said it, it was like, wow. She was like, you got to go get tested. I just went numb. That's the only thing how I could explain is I went numb. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to think. It just was like a numb feeling.
Okay, did you suspect, was there any infidelity throughout this?
No.
Ooh.
Now, sister, you are saying no very confidently. You cannot say there was no infidelity. You don't know this. He also could have gotten it from someone else. I don't know how this whole thing goes, but you're saying no, he did not do. Hold on now. Hold on. But let me listen. Maybe you're going to explain.
So you think you met him and he had this when he approached you, when he met you, all this time.
Look at Pastor.
So that's the thing. You could never know. I can't say he had it when he met me. I can't say he was cheated and got it. And I don't know. We will never know. But what we do know is I had unprotected sex. And because I had unprotected sex with somebody and I did not know their status, that's why I became HIV positive. And I like to look at it that way because if I look at it like, did he have it before he met me? Did he cheat and get it? That's gonna really that's gonna worry me. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna put me in a bad place.
Yes.
So I look at it like I had unprotected sex with somebody I was in a relationship with and that I loved. I thought I was safe.
I think that is very good. That is some accountability. But it kind of debunks what you just said when you said no, he never cheated. You say you don't know. Now that's a better answer. But I love the fact that you want to take accountability, and this is the way you also heal from it. Like I played a major part in it. I played a major part in it because I had unprotected sex. I really like this part.
Yes, that's a whole message right there in and of itself. How long had y'all been dating before y'all started having sex? Back then when you were 23 or 22?
Maybe a few weeks.
Few weeks. Never, and neither one of y'all was on y'all's radar to use protection back then. He didn't offer and you didn't mandate that.
Who do that? Who busts out a condom? Who doing it? Who doing that? Who doing that 21 years ago, and who doing that in 2026? I love to hear somebody say that they doing that.
So is
And
it
I'm not making excuses for
what?
myself. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, from the conversations I had with people over the years, people are not having protected sex.
Oh,
This is
wait.
not a conversation.
Oh, no. Chatrivia, stop this. Stop this right now. Listen. Because what is she saying? Who does that? Who busts out a Chatrivia, now listen, I don't know where you grew up. I don't know how you grew up. I don't know what's going on. Now listen, I am far from perfect. Let me tell you, if you're looking for perfection, don't look at me. Don't look at me. But let me tell you one thing. Listen, when I was 21, and you say around that time, who bust out a me? Now, the way I grew up, and this absolutely I would not advise. I would not advise. My mom knows this now. Every now and again, she watches my videos, but Ma, put in the comments. She really put the fear in me, but so much that I later found out I'm very traumatized. Now, when I was young, high school days, because I grew up in church, but I wasn't always saved. Okay? Now, mind you, my mom was saved either. My dad was. So, but my mom was like, listen, I don't want no teenage pregnancy or whatever. Now, she pulled out some books. Books. I'm not telling you internet pictures or whatever. I'm talking about the 90s here. Books. And she showed me every STD on this entire globe. But not only did she show me the STDs, she also told me, listen, if you as much as, come in contact unprotected with that D, and this is how she said it, Ma, I'm telling you, if I'm lying, if you as much as come in contact with it unprotected, it's not a matter of, are you going to die? It is when will you die? Yes? So you better not, this is how she talked to me. Now, I would not advise it, but let me tell you. So as I grew older, because I didn't have sex, but then as I grew older and, I met my son's father and, guys, when I tell you, suddenly, all the lessons that she thought she told me, because back then I was aggravated as hell. This story's looking at the pictures again. I was like, oh, God, this woman. But guys, this stayed with me until this day. So when I'm dating, and in the dating phase, we're not even thinking about having sex or whatever. I'm already saying, listen, we have to get tested already. I don't know even where this is going, but if you think this is going somewhere, that's what we need to do. Then we have the whole condom period. Now, I very much know that once you get tested and the test results come back next month, if someone cheats or does whatever, the test could be very different. But in my mind, it eases my mind every 6 months that we get tested. I really tell you. I have been like this since I was young. Does this prevent everything? And absolutely not. But in my mind, I was doing the best I can. But to say, Chatrivia, who does that and who? Oh my God, that is a very loose thought. Very loose. Very, I don't know, guys. Put in the comments how you were brought up and what you, but, oh God.
Miss Nugent, that is a whole thing, and I'm gonna have to keep myself focused for the sake of time. But you are saying to me that nowadays, and even back then, people was not having using condoms.
That's not true.
That's a thing. I'm off the scene because I've been married since I was 18, so I was married since 1998. You're saying that this is a norm for people to have sex and not use protection. This is a norm.
Yeah, for people that's not in relationship, for people that's married and been married for years and step out and they go sleep with people that they've been sleeping with for years and go home like nothing ever happened. People are not using condoms.
Absolutely not. But what makes it different is that you said you were with him for a year and a half. You weren't married with him for years and years. So you slept with him very fast, Chatrivia, and which I do not, I do not condemn. It is what it is. But girl, the way you say it, it irks me.
I guess it's a beautiful thing that you not shifting blame to him. You taking responsibility. Like, I had unprotected sex with this guy that I really didn't know. So you found yourself now in a compromised situation. Tell us about the moment you said, I gotta go get tested, and how that went.
When she told us, I called my midwife, and my midwife told me to come in, and I went and got the test done. But back then things were different, so I got the test, and she told me to come back in 2 weeks. When I went back in 2 weeks, he actually went with me when I went back. I was sitting in the waiting room after I got, when you go to the doctor, they do your height, weight, da 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 da. They have you sit down. So after I sat down for a minute and they called me, when they called my name, it was like three people standing there. So I'm like, okay, I got it.
Mind you, before that, he said, "Don't leave me. It's us against the world now." Now, listen, because you didn't disclose how young or how old he was, because maybe it's coming still. Maybe he was older than you, girl. I think he was. But the fact that he says, "Stay with me," it's me against the world. I'm wondering, did he know that he was sick or whatever? Did he have an inkling in his body? And now that he just couldn't ignore it anymore, he went to the doctor because don't leave me. It's me and you against the world. That's very easy to say. Now you got tested. Now you have it. Oh, God.
I'm already knowing I got it. So then when they took me to down the hall to the room, it was more people in the room. So I'm already knowing, like, okay, I'm HIV positive. So I went in the room, I sat down, and my midwife, she told me who everybody was in the room, but to this day I don't remember what she said. Some stuff still coming to me, but she told me who was in the room, and she said, "Chatrivia, I'm sorry, you're HIV positive."
Miss Nugent, you mentioned to us that this guy said, who I'm gonna label him as a predator because he should have known he was sick. There were signs that.
Hold on. Why he should have known he was sick?
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask, because we kind of got into that. You were saying he was getting very, very sick, but so his health was declining quickly. Is that right?
Mhm.
But it
So
could have been
when it
some other
comes
kind
to
of sickness. He might not have known that that's why his health was declining. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So when somebody health get the decline into that degree and they have AIDS is the complications from HIV. That's when everything starts to shut down. So that
Yes.
Look
means
at
you have
Pastor.
had HIV for between 6 to 10 years because you had a long time.
Yes.
So even with you having a long time, just because you have it, that don't mean that you know you have it. You could, let's just say, I don't know, I'm just saying. And the reason why I'm breaking this down because people need to know this, right?
Yes.
He could have had sex with somebody when he was 15 years old that had HIV. And then when he met me at 21, that's when he started getting sick. But his body had been going through all these changes and he just never knew.
I don't
So
know.
that's why, once again, it's important to know your status. So when you meet somebody, you sleep with them, you already know what it is because you are tested. But if you are not tested, we can't say you could. I can meet. Well, I'm married now, but you can meet somebody and y'all just met each other and y'all sleep with somebody else. Y'all sleep together, and one of y'all give the other one HIV. That person could have got it 5 years ago, 1 year ago, a
Yes.
month ago. Like
If
you
they
just
didn't get
don't know.
tested, if they didn't get
That's the
tested, they're
part.
not gonna know. So you're saying
That's the
it's
part.
possible.
Yes.
I guess I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt that he knew, but I cannot do that. I cannot accuse him of knowing. You saying it's possible he really didn't know. Is that what you're saying? I just don't think people are good people. All people are good people. So I'm like, he had
It's
to
a
have
possibility.
known. You don't think he knew? I'm gonna take your word for it. You don't think he knew?
What do you think,
So
guys?
today, I'm gonna tell you today's time. Because in other years' time, yeah, he knew he did this to me, But in today's time, me being older and I understand life and I understand people a little better,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's best to just say, I don't know if he knew.
Yeah.
You know why? For my own mental health, because
Yeah.
I stayed with him for almost 20 years. So, like, why would you even stay with a person that's that evil, you know? So, for my own sanity, it's best to just say, I
We
don't
don't know.
know if he had it or not. But what I do know is, me as a woman, I decided to have unprotected sex with a man. And because I did that, I have HIV. Let's just forget him for a second. Well,
Yes.
I did put me in this situation.
Yes.
Now we like this accountability. You said you were with him for 20 years. You said you found out when you were like 21, between 21 and 23. You said by then you were with him for a year and a half. That lets me know you are in your early 40s. You are in your early 40s, girl. Early 40s. So that means you and me were not too far apart. So by you saying that in that time when I was young, we didn't use condoms, protective sex what? We didn't do this and this. Who used condoms? A lot of us did in that time. 90s, yes.
So I wanted to learn about what HIV is. What do it do? How do I stop thinking about HIV all the time? How do
Yeah.
I not be sad? How do I go in a room
Yes.
and I just don't think somebody know I have it or somebody
Yes.
look? I wanted to understand. He didn't want to understand. He didn't want to talk about it. So when I talked about it, it kind of like got on his nerves, I'm gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
or it caused problems with us, me wanting
Yes.
to become educated. So I
Yes.
think that's where we was at. We kind of like was divided in a sense, and he wanted to run outside. And like you used to say, I'm a dead man walking. I'm gonna have my fun. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna enjoy my life. But me, on the other hand, I'm reading stuff to try to figure out what it is. I'm trying to go to classes. I'm googling stuff. I'm going to therapy. I'm trying to understand what's going on. And I was jealous of him because he was having a ball. He was
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he was having a wonderful time. I'm a dead man walking. I'm going to just cut up and do things. Lets me know he knew he had it. Because how are you getting over it that fast? Now, I can already hear people, Debs, but that was his reaction to cope with it, to go party, to do this, and self destruction because, he had this thing. But I don't know if I buy it.
he was having a wonderful time, and I was not. And we would break up and get back together. Like he'll go off and cheat and do whatever, and we'll break up, and I'll be doing good. But then when he come back, we wouldn't talk about it. So it's
One more question, guys. Would you have left him? Would you have left him the moment you heard, listen, you have HIV? He has AIDS. You have HIV. Would you have left him? Have you ever been through such a thing? Or been through such a thing that, one person had it, but you didn't have it, and then you were like, no, I can't do this. Like, what's your opinion about this?
a weird relationship.
Did you say he would go out and cheat?
Well, yeah, I found out that he was talking to somebody
You
else,
see?
messing around with somebody else, and we'll argue about it. Say he'll leave for 3 months. I'll be
So
fine.
he knew he had this sickness, but yet you think he was still sleeping around with other people? Or at least one other person?
Yeah, in the state of Illinois, you don't have to disclose your status if you are undetectable. So I know that now, but I ain't know back then. I just thought that he was being evil. But in the state of Illinois, you don't have to disclose your status if you are what's called undetectable. So
But when he had AIDS, he wasn't undetectable anymore. When he got AIDS, he was not he was very detectable, very. So, girl, what are you talking about? Now, for the people that say, Deb, but what is your opinion? Would you would have left your partner if we have only been together for a year and a half? Now I'm at this doctor's office with a big, big belly. Year and a half. So year and a half to me, we are still in the puppy love stages. It's just. And now the people are going to tell me this man that has full-blown AIDS gave you HIV. This is it. Oh, no, I couldn't do it. Now, the reason I can say that now, but maybe your state of mind, when you hear you have it, is like, listen, who else is going to want me? I got to stay with this man because who is going to want me with HIV? So that could very well be her state of mind. It could be. But the type of person I am, And I know on myself, I wouldn't be able to do it because you would sit there on that couch, you would eat, you would swallow, you would breathe, and I would just look at you, just hours at a time, just stare. It would be good. It would be. I know myself, and y'all know me too. I can't do this.
To fast forward this a little bit, Miss Nugent, you at some point realized this guy was not good for you. He wasn't gonna do right. He was going outside too much, still having fun, and wasn't gonna commit and do the right thing. You eventually moved on, right?
Yes.
Even in moving on, it still wasn't easy for you. And you mentioned to me that you reached out and you found I guess a spiritual friend or a someone who you befriended in the church. Talk to us a little bit about that and about this person, because that'll segue us into the next piece.
So I'm going back a tad bit. So I met this lady on Facebook, and we was in a wives group. And she was like godly. I called her queen because she just was the queen of the queens, right?
Okay.
And I would always go in her inbox and ask her questions all the time. And I would get on her nerves asking her these questions all the time because I was a baby in Christ then. So you know how babies is in Christ. They be going and going and going and going. And at that time, she was going through things too, but I didn't know. And I kind of like was tired of what I was going through. I started to realize the stuff I was going through was not normal because when you've been abused for so long, you start to think that it's normal, right? And especially when your abuser isolates you, you don't really know that this is not normal, you know. So me and her, we started talking.
Did I miss something? She was abused. She was abused by this man as well. Taken up for this man, and no, he did not cheat. Then he said he's a cheater. Now she's abused. I must have missed something. Put in the comments. I'm sorry.
On the phone. Started talking on the phone. I was telling her like what I was going through. And she was like, "You being abused." And I'm like, "What?" She was like, "You being abused on every level of abuse." And
Wow.
I'm like, "What?" Lies. You know? And I started listening to her and I felt that I was being abused. And I got to the point where I started calling the police, and anything he did to me, I would call the police and stuff like that. And she was going through things with her husband. Her husband, they had separated. So me and her, we bonded. Like I guess it was trauma bonding in a sense. You know, I was going through what I was going through. She was going through what she was going through, and we got really close. And I started being scared, like I'm gonna kill him or he gonna kill me. Like one of us gonna have to, we gotta do something. And we was renting on a house and our time was up. We was either finna go on buy the house and the money we put down was gonna go towards the house or we was gonna walk away. So I didn't really want to walk away from it because I had put everything I had into, you know, the house. I took my kids away from Chicago, the suburb, and I'm like, this is the life I want for my kids. But if I go into this, because our names was on it, if I would have went in there with him, it wasn't gonna be good. So I decided to work real hard and move. I was gonna
Beautiful.
move away when he was gone one day. I was gonna move close by her. So we planned it out. I did everything I had to do, and I moved out there closer to her. And we just got really really close. And the time of us getting close was a time where she was alone and I was alone. And we was helping each other spiritually, financially, whatever we could do for each other. We was like sisters in a sense. And she used to always say, "You and Curtis," her husband name is Curtis. "You and Curtis, y'all like all the same stuff. Y'all would be good for each other." But at that time, I didn't know her husband because he had left. So I used to just think she just missed her husband.
Meanwhile, Curtis is sitting right behind her because she's talking about the pastor. She's not even looking at him. He's not flinching, nothing. She is talking about him, telling us that the best friend at that time about her own husband that had left for a bit, you would be good. You and him would be good together. I don't believe it. Now, this husband left you for a bit. God knows why, because you were trauma bonding and she was going through her own things. Now, we need to know, Chatrivia, what was she going through? What was she going through? Now, you are going to give us your version of what she was going through, but she's not here anymore to tell her side. So I'm very curious as to know what she was going through. But for her to tell you, you would be good with my husband, because they weren't even divorced. I just don't believe it. Or maybe they were divorced for a quick second. But I do not believe this. I really do not believe this. And this has nothing to do with y'all. It has something to do with me. But I find it very hard to believe.
She just used to be saying it all the time. Every time something happened, girl, you like to walk. You want to do this. You and Curtis, y'all be good together. Y'all were soulmates, but I never really paid her that much attention because, like I said, I just thought she missed her husband. And then she wound up, her husband came back.
Look at that
Her
husband.
husband came back, and then I started doing a lot of different things. Like I started a publishing company, I started a nonprofit, and I started sinning real bad. And I kind of steered away from being around her as much because I
Okay.
felt like I was in sin. And she's always like, God wants you to do this, and God wants you to, girl, shut up, leave me alone. I was in sin. So
You didn't
we
want to hear
still
that.
was friends. We still was friends, but we wasn't like spiritual friends no more because
Okay.
I just didn't want to do right.
Okay. So you was pulling away. So you found this wives group.
If this is your first lady, she's very candid, very open. I respect it. To call this woman your first lady, you now already, it's kind of early for me. The way she sit there, it doesn't give me, guys. It doesn't give me. But if this is your first lady, put it in the comments. It's very safe space with us. We are going to ask you a couple of questions in the comments because I already know my people. But you could tell us because I don't know.
Yeah. You kind of joined it, even though you weren't married. You were kind of going through
I was
relationship.
married. I married him. Yes, I was married.
What?
Yeah, I married him. We was married 11 years.
What? The guy who gave you HIV?
Oh, God.
Oh, Miss
Why she
Nugent, I
didn't see it?
never knew that. Y'all were married 11 years. You ended up marrying him. Oh, was he unfaithful during the course of the marriage?
Two of us was.
Oh, woo, y'all had, it would sound like a toxic relationship and a toxic
Ball of
marriage.
mess. A ball of mess.
A ball of mess. So that's a blessing you ended up getting out. So you got in the wives group because you needed some advice, and then you found out you were being abused, all of the things, probably emotional, physical, all of that was happening within that marriage.
Hello? Oh, God.
Now this makes sense. So you in the wives group, you meet Miss Queen, who's also in the wives group. Y'all kind of bond, both going through similar or some hardships in marriage. And so she's telling you that about her husband, her situation. You're telling her about her situation. Tell us how that ended up playing out.
So I moved. I moved and I started doing all that different stuff. And her husband
What
came
stuff?
back. When her husband came back, I didn't only know the person she told me he used to be. But the person that he came back, he was a different person. But
Okay.
I didn't know. So I called him on the phone. And I called him and I said, hey, I was like, this is Chatrivia. I said, I know you, I don't remember the words, but I said something like, I know you and Aisha's getting back together. If you hurt her, you're gonna have to deal with me. And he
Okay.
was like, huh? And I said it again. And he was like, I respect that. I'm not on none of that. Like I really love her. And then that was it.
Wait. So that husband came back, and now you felt as a bestie that you had to call that husband directly to tell him, if you mess with her, you're going to have to deal with me. Now, this also, I feel like, is crossing a boundary. Now, all besties in this world come into the comments. Is this normal? Now, it could very well be because if you're younger, you do these type of things. But if you are older, you still do this. Would you call that husband and say, listen, you don't even know that husband yet. The fact that she told you, let you tell it. You and Curtis would be good together. You and Curtis. Now you want to hear Curtis' voice. Oh, God. Guys, I'm way too skeptic. Put it in the comments. Tell me to calm down.
And I'm gonna say like about 3 years, 2.5 years later, she wound up dying. She had a heart attack and she passed away. She passed away. So remind you, she was the first lady, right? And
Yeah,
when her
I was
husband
gonna
was not
ask
there,
you where. I was gonna ask you if they was in ministry at that time.
yes, they was in ministry at that time, but he had left. So kept doing ministry. And she
Oh.
was the wives group was her group. and she took the wives group and stopped the wives group and made a women's group. So
Gotcha.
so I started helping her with the women's group, but remind you, I was in sin. So I was like,
I was
so
insane.
I wouldn't be vocal on the page. I'll talk to her about the spiritual stuff, and then she'll post it on the group and talk about it, and we'll all talk about it like that. But I wouldn't be forward with it. But I knew
Yes.
what to do because I helped her with all of it. So when she passed away, I had knew her husband because it was her husband, of course. I knew the man he used to be, and I knew of the man he used to be, and I saw
Okay.
the man he was when he came back, and I knew that she would want me to help him with the ministry. So one day he called me and he asked me, "Could we be accountability partners?" So I'm like, "Yeah, of course." Because I'm sure you know some stuff about me that she told you that you can help me with. I know stuff about you, you help me, So it makes sense to me. So every
Does it make sense to y'all? Peeps, my peeps, my peeps. Please come in the comments. Does this make sense? Have you been through something similar before where you ended up with your best friend's husband? Please put it in the comments. Let us be accountability partners. Now she passed 2 years. All of a sudden passed. Oh God. Listen, I have to listen to this with an open heart, but this doesn't sit right with me. I have this intuition thing, guys. This thing, my spidey sense is really on high alert.
Sunday, we used to talk every Sunday. We would talk goals. We make goals for the week, business goals, personal goals, ministry goals.
Oh.
And we did that for a while, and it started getting weird. And them text messages started. Good morning, text messages. Did you eat
Oh,
today?
now.
It's like I said, this kind of feeling a little weird. I think I like you. Think I like you. This is weird. And he was like, I think I like you too. This is kind of weird. And
This is not weird to me. Now, you said you were in sin. At some point, you weren't even in the women's group because, you were helping her with the women's group, but you weren't really in because you didn't want to hear the God stuff because you were in sin. Thank you for being so open and honest. But this is very sinful to me too. Because it's very fast that she passed and now you come, I think I like you. Could it happen? Yes. Could it suddenly happen that you have feelings for that person? You cannot help it. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. But there is just a feeling in me. I'm not saying you were waiting for your turn to come get this man, but the way you described yourself from young to, guys, put it in the comments. Am I exaggerating?
the conversation changed then because we realized we liked each other.
Okay. So this is where we bring in Pastor Mr.
Yes.
Curtis
Yes.
Nugin. Mr. Curtis, come on
down to the
down.
pulpit.
It's your time.
Come.
Or too shy.
Come.
Oh my. As the world turns.
Hey, piece of our lives.
Welcome. Yes, welcome. Mr. Curtis, talk to us just a little bit about, I guess, your previous marriage and then how it dismantled, I guess, after your wife passed, and then what made you this whole accountability partners. Did you really have it? Was you really
Thank you,
thinking
Dana.
that, or had
Thank
you had
you,
your
girl.
good eyes
Yes.
on Miss Chatrivia? I mean, come on.
Yes.
Tell us, talk to us.
I like how you just did that because so many people think so many different things. So
Yes.
I like how you said that. But just to give a quick backdrop,
Yes.
me and my deceased wife, we started dating when I was 15. She was 14. We had
Oh.
3 children together. We was to up until her passing, we was together like 29 years at that point, married for 21 years.
Woo.
Just like any relationships, especially starting off so young, you grow up
Yes.
and sometimes grow apart.
Yes.
Yes.
I had a lot of immaturities in me,
Yes.
and I did a lot of things in my marriage that I should have did growing up, being single, but I never was afforded that opportunity. I grew up really fast on a lot of different levels. To say all that, I grew up, I matured. She has some maturing to do as well. So we actually end up divorcing and in our 19th year of marriage, but we ended up getting back together and got remarried again because we was always friends. We always accountability. Even through our separation and all of that, we still kept a solid relationship, friendship. Then in my absence, her and Chatrivia got close. We was doing like projects together when I came back, like little ministry stuff. We knew each other, but I knew the love that my deceased wife had for her because she was the type of individual she don't deal with friendships. She just did unless because of trust, right? And I just felt like, and once again, I don't deal with like friendships like that. So I'm like, out of respect, I feel like I can trust you with my vulnerability, especially during that time, because so many females was coming at me during that time, which was so sad, and I did not know who to turn to. I felt like she would be the perfect person to trust with what I was going through, and it went from there.
How old were
But
you when your wife passed? How old were y'all
I was
now?
43 years old, and now I'm 48.
Okay, you were 43 years old when she passed. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
And y'all have
and
been married for 20,
1 years,
Nine.
19
21.
years the first time, 2 years the second time.
Oh,
Wow. Divorced and then
21 years.
remarried. So once
Yes.
y'all remarried, things were better or worse or the
Oh,
same?
no, things was way better.
Okay.
We both matured. We both came into a
Okay.
better version of ourselves.
So when she passed, y'all were in a much better place.
10,000%.
Okay. All right. So then you and Miss Chatrivia, y'all are now conversating on the phone, as she said, talking, strategizing, planning, talking about business, talking about the church, right? That would come up, I'm sure.
Business, church, personal goals,
About
and
how long? Oh, go ahead.
it evolved to, like she said, "Good morning, how you doing?" Because we got acquainted during that time, right? So it was like, I see how you looking, but it goes back to the innocence why I even reached out her like, hey, let's be accountability partners. So like it was friendly, how you doing, how because now I'm learning more about her. So now I
Okay.
know some personal things.
So now that you hear this pastor, guys, what do you feel? Like it feels like he has a sound mind. He has a good story. Accountability partners. And I just thought we could, who could I trust? There were so many women coming at me. I don't know if you missed it. That's what he said. So now I knew her, she was my best friend, my wife's best friend. So now I was like, let's do this together. Now, not even short thereafter, here she comes. I like you. I don't know. What do you think so far, guys?
Things she's going through. So
Okay.
now I'm checking in. How you doing? How the kids doing? And you got to remember too, just to backtrack. I
No,
had started
Pastor.
building a relationship with
Pastor.
her children as well in a time that my wife was alive. So it was like a lot of similarities. So now it's like pieces being put together without even realizing it because we're just going through the motions of life like everybody does.
About how long had y'all started conversating that before both of y'all realized there was a maybe a romantic attraction?
I would say within about a month, a little about over a month. It
Oh,
was like, wow, okay, it's something there. But we took our time though. We didn't get into a relationship to 2 years.
After a month that your wife has passed, after a month, was it after a month of you talking, or after? Oh God! And you already thought, yes, I like, guys.
Years after my wife passed away. But it was
wow.
about a month. You spend enough.
No,
I
two
say this
years
all the
after she
time. You
passed.
spend enough time with anybody.
Yeah.
you go. It just is
Yeah.
just the reality of life.
Yes.
So we realized it, but it was weird. It was like literally
Yes.
weird in the beginning stages.
So you said this went on for 2 years, and then after about a year and a half or so, y'all was like, let's make this official.
Absolutely. Like I said, I was. I don't. If you have not, people die in our lives, but when it comes to a spouse, being a widower or a widow, it's a different type of energy because that's your everything. That's your everyday. So I'm still going through my own process of grief,
Yeah.
and so I have to make sure that it don't intervene in what I'm ready to build. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I had to have time alone. I had to spend time with God. I had to take sabbaticals to learn, to search, to fill my cup up. So once I got to a place of okay, I'm in a better place. Let me reach out to Chatrivia and see how if she's even willing to go a step further with me.
So you were still pastoring at this time, senior pastor.
Absolutely,
Senior
yes.
pastor. Wow. And you said you had other women coming after you during this time?
It was, and that, I never knew. I heard of stuff like that church goes on in church, but I had a chance to experience it. Yes.
Tell us just a snippet, one
Yes.
second of what that was like. They came out of the woodworks, huh?
I didn't know if they was coming to the ministry for God or for me. And as a pastor, that's hard. It's really
Oh.
challenging. You're trying to do what God calls you to do, and then at the end of service is a whole nother type of spirit, a whole nother
Oh,
type of
yeah.
conversation, a lot of manipulation. I mean, I know females talk about these type of things, but a lot goes on like this with guys experiencing manipulation as well, and head games and trying to get me in my vulnerable state. It was a lot of that going on.
Wow.
And I asked her,
Sharks. Sharks in the church.
and I
Sharks in the
asked her, I said, "Can you be my gatekeeper?" Because once again, it goes back to trust, and because
Yes.
I couldn't see everything, and you got to understand, I was in a vulnerable state, dealing with a lot on top of
Yeah.
the death of my spouse. So,
You trusted
That's
Chatrivia. You knew that she knew your wife better than anybody almost other than you. You knew she had a good relationship with your wife. She knew your wife, and in your state of vulnerability, you wanted somebody to help protect you from the sharks, from your own thinking, to kind of
yes.
bounce off thoughts, feelings, and ideas.
And I think
one
that
hundred percent correct.
yes, I think that is very remarkable. I will say for Shatrivia to agree to do that because she knew your wife. Her they were close. That she knew your wife's spirit and what your wife would want in that situation, and you
To
to reach
protect him.
out to say right to protect him. Just because that's what that's what she should do as
Yes.
a
Almost
best
like a
friend of her wife.
sister.
Yes,
Like a sister.
yes, like a right.
My sister gone, I'ma look out for you,
Because
basically.
right.
Oh no, no. I don't think it was that. I think it was I will look out for you. I will look at you because I like you. Not because my sister is gone and now I'm your gatekeeper and I'm your protector. I don't think I'm gonna protect what's mine. That was her thought process. That is how I feel. I'm sorry, sisters. I'm very sorry, but no.
Won't
She
step in her
gone.
place and for you to agree and to and in a sense humble yourself and say, hey, I need some help, like this is going on and I recognize that this is a lot going on and I can't handle it, I need some help. And for you guys to make that relationship, I think that's remarkable.
Remarkable.
This is a hard question. Brother Dr. Pastor, Mr. Nugent, did you go celibate during this time?
That's some things I like to keep personal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I plead the fifth on that.
No,
Okay.
he was
All
not.
right.
That's
All
your
right.
answer.
Okay. You tried to. Okay. All right. We can keep moving. We can keep moving. You knew you needed help. So at some point, you and Miss Chatrivia said, we're gonna connect. When did y'all say when did you pray about it? Okay, I got so many questions. Did you pray about it? I'm sure you knew her status. How did you come to a place of saying you are the one?
Well, once again, like I said moments ago, I went on a whole sabbatical. I went so deep into it, I left the state for a little while. I went to two different states actually, just to be within myself and just hear from God.
In your time with God, at some point, did God reveal to you that this was your wife?
I share this brief story. When my wife first passed away, her cousin, we was just talking, and I'm like, I'm done with love. I'm done. I can't do it no more. It hurts that bad. It's hurt to love sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I said, I can't do it. And I never forget my deceased white cousin say, Curtis, that's not you. She said, you will, how did she say it exactly? You will know because you'll get her name was Aisha. You'll get Aisha approval. That's my deceased wife name. You will know. You will get Aisha approval. This way before accountability partners and all that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
when I went on my sabbatical, I went in two different states. I felt like in my spirit I got Aisha approval. So that's how I knew.
You felt in your spirit like your wife would have been okay, or it would have been her choice for
Her
you
choice.
to.
Now, I'm glad he didn't say God told me. God told me that I would have to be with Chatrivia, and God told me that it was okay. I'm glad he didn't say that. Now he said, Aisha told me in my spirit that this is the time to move on with my best friend. Good be. We hear this sometimes, that friends go with, deceased friends, spouses, and whatever. So I've heard this before. But every time I hear it, I just and the way it went with these two in the women's group, and then you infiltrated. Listen, Chatrivia, I know, but am I not as hard on him? I'm definitely hard on him too. I'm not a whole pastor, but the way he explains it, it makes more sense. But he was vulnerable. I don't know, guys. You put it in the comments.
And Miss
Absolutely.
Chatrivia, I know we've had conversations and you felt the same. Tell us about your thought process in that.
Well, I already knew he was my husband. I had already knew. I think maybe like when we had started liking each other, I had a friend that I had met through social media, through YouTube. And we just used to do it just be a business thing at first.
Okay.
And one day she texted me and said, God told me to tell you that Curtis is gonna be your
Oh
husband.
God.
And I'm like, what? And we just had started liking each other. So nobody in the world know that this is going on. So
Boss, stop this now. God told me that this is going to be your.
I told her to call me. I told her to call me. Call me. Forget about that $100 you be paying me. Girl, call me right now.
We need
And
to
she
talk.
called me and she said, I don't want to step over no boundaries or nothing, but God told me that Curtis is gonna be your husband. And I'm like, I like him. And she was like, I know he like you too. And me and her been friends ever since she was in our wedding. I had already knew he was gonna be my husband because of that. But not only that, when all the stuff was going on in the church with all of the women and all of that, it was so hard for me because I liked him. So I had to see these women throwing themselves at him. And it just was, and I used to be a fighter.
We're going to talk about your fighting days. But you see, I liked him. So he asked you to be his gatekeeper, his protector. But you're telling us now, because we listen to the little things around here. You are telling us now, but I already liked him. That's what I told you guys. She didn't take this gatekeeping task. She took it because she was already in love with him. This is mine. That's what I'm protecting. Not I'm protecting you because you're my best friend husband and you're going through difficulties. No, I'm protecting you because I want your ass. That's what I just told you, and she confirmed. I liked him.
In my days. I used to want to drag people. Like God was working on me. And I used to be telling him, like, I really wanted to drag her today. Like, but God is working on me. Because if I'm gonna be a first lady, I can't be out here dragging people across the pulpit. Like I can't be out
Oh
here like
God.
that. So I had asked God one time he did a sabbatical, and I did one too. I didn't even know what a sabbatical was. He told me about it. I did it too. And I prayed and prayed and I had asked God, if God is this man my husband? Because if he ain't, I'm about to leave him alone and his church, all this stuff. 'Cause I don't like church anyway. I wasn't even
This is
going
your
to church
first
before
lady.
this. It was just me and you, God, and my Bible. I ain't got to do none of this. For real. And
Be
God
around
told
these
me
people
that
about to lose your salvation behind dragging somebody.
I used to be telling her I'm about to drag her about the church. She touching on your shoulder. If she touch you again, I'm a killer. I'm a
This is
killer.
your first lady.
But anyhow, for real. God told me that he was gonna be my
Guys.
husband, but he told me that it wasn't gonna be no easy ride to get there. And I'm like, wow, that means I gotta go through some more stuff if I ready to go through some more stuff. But God showed me him in a white suit with some them red apple bottom, with them black them shoes with the red at the bottom of what they
Red
call
Oh
bottom.
God.
red bottom shoes. He had on that all white up there preaching, and I was sitting watching him, and he was my husband. So I already knew anyway. So when he came in and said, "Can you be my one? Could we be together?" I'm like, yeah, that's what you're talking about. So I
Wow.
already knew.
When y'all started dating, was it just a beautiful relationship? Was there any infidelity, anything like that?
With us,
Uh huh.
say like in the beginning, I think I started playing around and entertaining people because the women was all over him, and I felt like because I come from a toxic
Yes.
background.
You didn't
So stuff
trust.
in my ass don't look right. It could be
That's
nothing.
right.
I learned that everything that look away ain't that way.
Yes.
So I felt like he was entertaining them. So I
Yes.
started playing around and flirting and stuff.
Yes.
And it did cause a problem in the beginning when it happened. But once we was able to talk about it and he
Yes.
was able to see where I was coming from, what I thought I was seeing, but what he saw,
Yes.
what he did see, we was able to get past that.
As far as
Wow.
myself, no. When I knew what I knew, and I at that moment in time when I asked her, to be in a relationship, I ain't want no games, and it been like that ever since, from dating to marriage.
Yes.
Once again, you have a deceased wife, either that's gonna break you to pieces or that's gonna mold you into a better version of yourself. And I have chosen to be a better version of myself. So the toxicity in me, I got some ways, yes, but when it comes to infidelity, that's not my style.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is
That's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yes. So, how long have y'all been married to date?
8 months.
8 months. This
Well,
is
congratulations.
new. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you and
congratulations.
bless you.
And Mr. Nugent.
I don't know, guys. She don't give me saved, sanctified. Chatrivia don't give me none of that. Like, she's the first lady now, but she doesn't give me none of that. Telling you what you should do in the church and this and that, and you should do this and that. Chatrivia herself. I couldn't take it. If I was in that church, Chatrivia, you don't give me.
Just about everybody like her because of HIV status, right? Her, I mean, about 99.99%. Another
Yes.
99.99%, that's your
Yes.
wife's best friend. So it was and
Yes.
50-50.
it was a lot that I had to endure. The church broke apart because of it.
Yes.
I got slandered. I like slandered real bad throughout social media. I went through a lot. I went through a
Wow.
hell of a lot. But one thing I kept reminding myself that my life is not my own.
That's
You know what I mean? God kept
Ooh.
reminding me of that. So I would have been able to endure. Thank God that the storm done passed, but it still the effects from it. I still get sad sometimes. I don't
Yes.
get mad anymore. So I know I grew from that and I learned from that.
Yes.
But it was a lot that I went through. But I thank you for even
Yes.
wanting to know our story.
And so God knew what he needed for his house, for his ministry, and for his servant. Need a woman that'll be willing to drag
Oh,
a
that
woman.
makes her laugh.
You needed that. God, let me tell you, God tailor made her to be next in line
to protect you.
To protect you. You hear
From,
what I'm
and
saying?
you can't drag them. You can't, you may not even recognize that you need to drag them, but she know the
That's
ones who
it.
touching you on your shoulder
Ain't gonna play.
innocently, and they
Ain't
about
gonna
that
play.
game. They about
Ain't
that,
gonna play.
and she
God
not
said,
having it.
I got
She's
something
not
for
having
you.
it.
Don't worry about no status. Don't
Yeah.
worry about her. She gonna be
She got
healthy.
you. I got her.
I got her. I ain't gonna let that
Yeah.
happen. You need this one right here. Ratchet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that message, we are going to end this interview, guys. Now, listen, this was a light video, but tell your girl, what did you think about him remarrying her best friend? What did you think about her HIV story? Do you think this guy was really a predator? Do you think that he knew that he had HIV? I wish them nothing but the best, but you already saw my reaction. Chatrivia, you don't give me first lady at all. That's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with your HIV. It has nothing to do with you remarrying your best friend's husband. It just has to do with you. Now, let the host tell it. She feels a very genuine spirit and very genuine in this and that. I am not really convinced, but I respect you for sharing your story. Now, peeps, we hung out a little bit. I hope that you could take away something from this video, if nothing at all. Put it in the comments too. And thank you for the host for, putting this interview out so I can react on it. I'll see you guys, of course, very fast. I think I'm going to do a surprise live, a test live. I need to test this StreamYard thing, guys. So I'm coming on the live too, but Send your questions in that you have. We have to do some new segments. Send things, ideas. Now, if you haven't subscribed, hit a subscribe. If you haven't liked the video yet, you already know. Push us onto the algorithm and hit a like, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.